Being able to give back to our community has been such a huge part of why I wanted to even join the industry. I'm here in Los Angeles, and most folks that go into hair end up doing hair for set work or, videos, but being able to give the ego boost to somebody that might need it a little bit more has been really the focus as to why we're here. And the worthiness that comes along with that is really important as well. I'm Madden Lopez, and Project Q is my business. Hairstyling was the entry point for us, but also the entry point and initiative for folks to come in the door. And then from there, we have kind of shifted into all of the different ways that folks really need to have a safe space. We also do a food and hygiene area. We also have free clothing, and Project Q will be starting in 2022 to give free therapy to LGBTQ folks of color. Usually we say TAY, or transitional age youth, so that means 18 to 24, but really we're giving services to folks under 30 because it doesn't matter what age you're at or what time the universe says that you're supposed to be ready. Everybody shows up to readiness at their own time. 40% of youth aging out of foster care become homeless, and the majority of youth in foster care are Black. A lot of these Black kids come out as trans, come out as non-binary, come out as queer, and then have nowhere to stay. And so it just happens that the intersection of folks that I love the most is dealing with incarceration at a higher rate, is dealing with violence and domestic violence at a higher rate. On a normal day, we have a thing called currency. Folks come in, they want to get their haircut, they want to get a service, then they have to respond to a quote like, if Black lives matter, why does your Black life matter, right? And then we have a conversation, it starts a dialogue. It's an exchange of energy. And what that does is it teaches folks that they're worth more than $1. So you don't have $1 to your name right now, that's fine. You have an hour to your name. Give me an hour, learn a little bit. I'm gonna pick out a book. It's just about building that bridge of communication. We thrive on grants. Our food and hygiene corner was a grant from Shea Moisture. They gave us a grant in order to buy all of the food that we have here. All of our clothing is donated from Tom's and Wild Fang. They donated all of the clothing that we have here. My first grant that we got was $12,000, and I got it after writing my mission statement. I typed it up in Comic Sans, and I mailed it to different organizations. I had no idea what I was doing, but I started, right? I had to do something. 2021 was the first year we were able to hire someone specifically to write grants. And that has been one of the most important investments because it gave us the opportunity to have longevity. We got a $775,000 grant. It's a 3-year grant that is going to sustain all of our programs for those 3 years. What that means to me is that the people that I hire in, I don't have to worry about how I'm going to continue to keep them employed for the next 3 years. It also means that the door gets to stay open for all of the other types of services and opportunities that we're looking for. We're interviewing queer therapists of color to come in and give, their service for free to the public, but this grant is helping us pay these therapists so that we can actually have good talent in. The hard part about wanting to specifically hire and serve queer folks of color is making sure that we can find funding for our people. Because if we're gonna target our folks, we have to pay our folks. Don't shut up about it. You're sick of hearing yourself talk about your organization? Good, because there's people here that still haven't heard about your organization. And get your elevator pitch down. I know that people don't like to hear that term. It's difficult, but if you have confidence in the way that you speak about what you're doing, people are going to believe that what you're doing is important. Octavia Butler talks a lot about a positive obsession. My positive obsession at this point is breaking cycles of violence and creating cycles of success. In the long run, what that means is also understanding that, our Our queerness as Black people is not a separate act as to who we are. It's an intersectionality of who we are, and that also the movement for Black lives is not going to go anywhere without the queer community. So really blending that together and understanding the intersectionality there, it compels me, right? It wakes me up in the morning. It makes me excited. Creating community of color that understands their queer identities and siblings, it's the fuel in my tank at this moment.